I view my generation as hopefully being the generation that opened new doors, started to create new relationships, and now the next generation has an opportunity to step in and really make a huge difference and really bring it together, you know, in a way that nobody else has. I grew up in Lowell, Massachusetts. I was fortunate enough to go to the parochial school at our church. That's where I learned a lot of my not only history but Greek background. My parents were very hardworking early on. My father, knock on wood, lived the American dream, self-made. We grew up knowing and hearing about Greece, but primarily through our grandparents. We never went to Greece until I was in college, believe it or not. After that trip, I think that's kind of when it all started for my sisters and I. It kind of opened the door now to know that we have a lot more that we can learn. There's a lot more of a connection we can make with our heritage. Both my parents are always been role models and mentors for me, and nobody will ever replace them. Outside of just, you know, the business philanthropy, but just how to be parents, how to be husband and wife, how to be genuine human beings. My philanthropy and my family's, my wife and I's philanthropy, certainly if we look at it today, it's very strong Hellenic flavor and influence. My wife has been a member of the board of Anatolia. My truly first professional experience in terms of philanthropic was through my alma mater, Boston College, being involved as a volunteer and then eventually getting to the point of being on the board of trustees, board of directors. And I was very early involved with Leadership 100, been a member of a HEPA for a long time. When the Hellenic Initiative started a few years ago, that was something, again, that really piqued my interest because it was something that never had been done before in terms of trying to rally the diaspora to help Greece. Coming full circle with the National Hellenic Society as a member, being involved, and then really having the great honor that an organization that I've been intimately involved with made a choice that this person would be a great fit to take over a leadership position. National Hellenic Society is an organization that was a way to preserve and protect our ethnic identity here in the United States. The key program of NHS is the Heritage Greece program, which essentially is a birthright program, which is sending college-age students who really have hardly any connection to Greece, sending them over to Greece for 2.5 weeks, experiencing not only the tourist sites in Greece, but also spending 24/7 with students from Greece. And that transformative program now has over 300 students that have taken that trip. And every year it's grown. And these students come back with not only connections with peers in Greece, but with a renewed interest to do something. It's interesting, some of them have dragged their families over to Greece now. Others have found new ways to volunteer and be involved here. And one of the things we've done, which is very important, is within the National Hellenic Society umbrella, we've created a network and a framework for them to stay actively involved at NHS. It's going to take a long time, but I think the impact, 10, 20, even 30 years down the road, with these young Greek Americans and the counterparts in Greece, you know, you're looking at the future leaders of our organizations, of our country, as well as our homeland. You can't put a price tag on the value of the connections that they have.
Our community is going through reshaping. Many organizations are trying to find their identity. I would like your thoughts.
We're a product of how we've evolved, correct? The diaspora, even here in the States, you know, over time, becoming very much ingrained in the American culture. For most of us, a lot of us, fortunately, you know, we still maintain a strong connection to our heritage and faith because that's how we grew up. But that, obviously, as years go by, that becomes increasingly more challenging. And as you mentioned, alluded to, it's even become more challenging for various organizations. And I think we've done a lot of good work, but we've also haven't been able to, at the end of the day, on a big picture, larger scale, keep our community together overall. We're great at going off and discovering things and doing well individually, and sometimes in groups. But collectively, we always seem to run into trouble. Not only here, but I'm sure it's the same in Canada, Australia. And then at the same time, because we're so distant not only distance, but distance in how we've evolved as a diaspora versus how Greece has evolved as a country, we haven't been as connected as maybe some other ethnic groups. we're good at trying to find new ways to get people engaged. I think where we've lacked in the past, for a long time is, at the end of the day, how do you get everyone together? It's not as if we've been working side by side, the diaspora with our home state, so to speak.
I want your thoughts on our global diaspora, beyond the U.S.
There's been some discussions, I know, amongst a variety of groups about actually getting together some type of global initiative of some sort. Global Diaspora Initiative. It started in Greece. Bring people from all over the world, get their perspectives, and begin to partner together and become much closer amongst all of us, not just the Greeks here with the Greeks in Greece, the Australians, like you said, the Canadians, South Africans, the ones in South America. At the end of the day, we're all Greeks, and we need to begin to find ways to help each other.